it's a totally different looking team to what we've had in the past, and there's a real buzz and everyone's looking forward to it. And the horses are in great form this year, whereas this time last year we were not happy, I can assure you, and it's good at the moment.
It was a nightmare last year. For 6 weeks before Cheltenham it was hard work, and I think as it worked out the horses who actually did get to Cheltenham ran okay, and luckily a couple of them won as well. So, but this year, we look like they're in good shape and they're running well, and we're looking forward to it.
And then hopefully he'll stay on strongly. And he's always been a decent horse. He's never shown a lot at home, but he's always been good on the track. But this year, I mean, he won the Charlie Hall this year. I thought we'd win the Charlie Hall, but then to go and win the Betfair Chase was a totally different ball game, and he won that well, and he's improved again, and he just must be improving. And but we all strive to get those horses like that and get them to that situation that they're going to be really good chasers, and he is. He's been around Cheltenham over hurdles. I mean, he's just, if we'd have thought we'd needed to go on there, we would have. There hasn't been a race for him. That's the only reason but he's been around Ascot, Wetherby, Haydock, Newbury, over hurdles, everywhere else. He's an experienced horse. He's fine. I mean, obviously you've got Long Run, who's won the Gold Cup before and won 2 King Georges, so he's a smart chaser. But Silverniaca Conti, Bobsworth, who beat Tidal Bay in the Hennessy, that form stands up very well. He keeps on winning and wins at Cheltenham. Sir de Champs won twice at Cheltenham already. He won the other day. They're decent novices, and they're progressing.
We've always thought quite a lot of him. We always thought he'd end up in a Gold Cup, and we looked after him a bit last year because he wasn't quite right. And probably the best thing we didn't do was run him at Cheltenham last year. And to be fair, since his run at Aintree last year, he's done absolutely nothing wrong, and he ticks all the right boxes. He's got a bit of speed, he's got a bit of class, he jumps, he stays. There's no reason why he can't win a Gold Cup.
The next horse is a nice grey called Union on East. 5-year-old who's had a really good season. One thing he does, he stays and jumps, goes well at Cheltenham, and he's definitely in with a chance, I think, if we can get cut in the ground in the RSA. At the moment he is still in the juice and over 2.5. And like with everybody, if you suddenly got torrents of rain the week before and the ground was bottomless, we could switch him to the juice and bring in Rocky Creek into the RSA, who at the moment I'm leaning towards going somewhere else, because I think Rocky Creek wants the ground really tested. So normal sort of ground will probably be at Cheltenham, I'm assuming it'll be good to stop. This lad will run in the RSA, and we'll probably leave Rocky Creek to Aintree, but that is yet to be decided. Obviously everybody's going to be up in the arms, but this horse has been trained just with the festival in mind, had a little mid-season break, won last week at Newbury, and I think he's 5, he's still improving.
Union East, I think, is long-term a very, very good horse. Horse I really like, his attitude, his jumping, he's obviously got stamina in abundance, and he'd have to have a chance in the RSA. He's at a pretty tender age. We did win it with a 5-year-old years ago, Stade Maison. He was the last horse to win it at the age, but he also had the age allowance that mattered, I think, a great deal then. Dynast is going to be difficult to beat, but Union East is a gutsy, tough horse who did very, very well to win a handicap. I think the only 4-year-old to ever win a handicap around Cheltenham over fences. So that shows you the level of horse that he is. Has to have a big chance.
Yeah, Fargo's, shown plenty of speed. He won well at Newbury, would have won at Warwick the other day, but again, he's got plenty to do with Overturn and Simon's Seek. But you never know, those two might take each other on in it. If you can just follow him behind them, you need something with some speed to follow them. It jumps well, and he could just be able to do that, and you never know, might be able to be an interesting race. Overturn's been electric in the races he's won at Sandown and also the other day Edinburgh, but the Arkle will be a totally different race. There'll be plenty more runners, and Cheltenham's totally different to Edinburgh, and it just you believe in things might be a little bit different.
The old adage, you shouldn't be frightened of one horse, doesn't apply to Sprinter Sacre, I don't think. He's phenomenal, and we've been lucky in the past that people have looked upon a few of our horses as the way we're looking upon him now, that he's basically impossible to beat.
He's been invincible. He was brilliant, and the twice he's run this year, he's got everything. He's a bit like Mastermind. He's speed, he stays, he gallops, and I think we all know we're playing for places at best in that race. And Sanctuary, he's done really well to win the races he has. We were living in hope at the start of the season we might be a bit better than he actually was, but we've already sort of proved our level with him, and we just got to do the best we can in the situation we're in. I've seen some lists he's sort of favourite for the Grand Annual, but that'll all change when the entries are out. But he'd definitely be one of ours with a leading chance in that race. Won nicely the last day at Ascot. We purposely then thought we won't run him until the Grand Annual. Keep him nice and fresh and well and try and get him in the best of his form. Obviously he's crept on at the weights, but some of the horses behind him have been winning. Wouldn't want the ground to dry up too much and be too quick the last day. Like plenty of cut in the ground.
Delan will bring the curtain down on 2012 at Ascot by being victorious for Ruby Walsh and Paul Nicholls.
Yeah, health-wise, he's in a different place. We'd had the problem with him coughing. Like this time last year, our press day was cancelled because of the horses coughing. He's won 3 from 3 over hurdles. We're going to the race in great shape. He was coughing just after he ran in the Betfair hurdle, and we never really had him right afterwards. As much as we tried to get him on top form for the Champion Hurdle, he'd had a course of antibiotics, which would let everybody know what was happening, but I think he just takes the edge off them, and he just ran flat. And Darryl said he was never travelling, never going, and we knew the reason why, to be honest with you, before we started. It is wide open, but then all those championship races always are. I mean, I think Hurricane Fly, Grand Away, Rock and Ruby and Zarkanda are the 4. I don't think there's a lot between them. But you never know in a Champion Hurdle. I just know our lad's in great shape. He's won 3 from 3. He's won twice at Cheltenham. Hasn't won on the Champion Hurdle course yet, but I hope he'll put that right on the day. He stays really well, and the Pertemps final obviously has been our target for a long while with him. He'll run in that, and then after that we'll be interested to see. You never know, he might even stay, be a decent 3-mile hurdler next season. We'll go chasing again one day, but I don't think we've seen the best of him yet over hurdles.
Far West jumps over it, lands over it a length and a half clear. Now the sprint's on for home.
Far West is very, very talented. I was surprised at how quick he could actually go over the last 3 furlongs at Ascot the other day, as was Ruby. He is genuine. I know the way the race was run the other day made him look like he was looking all over the place, which he was, but he's very, very good.
But Far West, he might have caught him for toe. He has. It's up to the line. Far West, a smart performer, this 4-year-old. Far West goes on to win well.
I know he is an exciting young horse. I was really thrilled with him. I mean, it's a bit of a joke of a race on the weekend in the fact that they went no gallop, but we knew that beforehand. And he had a nice run round, a devastating turn of foot from the back of the second last, and won from a really decent horse. And it shows he's got everything. He stays and he's got speed, and he is a nice young horse. Yeah.
The Fred Winter we've won before with Sanctuaire. He's off a mark of 126. The 2 horses that we're going to run in it this year are currently rated 130, Saphir de Roan and Putty Zig. Both are very much future chasers. Whether we'd be susceptible to some flat horse with a lot of speed late on in the race could be the case. But they're 2 very nice horses, and whatever they do, we're really glad we got them anyway.
And of the 2, could you split them?
Impossible. Really is impossible. They don't work together at home yet. I mean, we'll the next 3 weeks we'll bring them closer together, and the 2 preparation runs were very, very different as well. So it's really hard to pick them apart.
Now, I think this is one of almost the forgotten horses at the festival this year. This is Dodging Bullets, who runs in the Supreme Novices. He's a second season novice, 4th in the Triumph last year. It is. It looks a very, very good race, but it always does. And we just trained him for the race. He's done nothing wrong this year. He won 2 from 2 at Cheltenham in the autumn and ran really well behind Darlan in what was a Champion Hurdle trial really for a novice. So that puts him right in the mix, and his handicap rating of 157 is high for a novice. So it puts him in the mix. But you're right. It's a very competitive race. He won the Persian War Novice Hurdle at Chepstow back there at the end of October. We'd had a little bit of an issue with his breathing before that day. We didn't think he was that clear, and during the race, Ruby said he was choking on and off during the race, and he ran a little bit in snatches. So we, straight afterwards, decided to get on and sort his breathing out. He had a breathing operation. I never was going to be that keen to run him until after Christmas. He's in the Coral Cup, and I should think that's favourite where he'll run.
Wonderful Charm wins the Persian War.
149 could be really good. It could be about right. It could be over exaggerating him. You just don't know. And if we'd have had the opportunity to run him, we'd have found out that we could have gone for a world hurdle, or found out that actually we need to go to a Coral Cup or something different. He's very, very talented, that's one thing for sure. Whether the Coral Cup is going to be his sort of race or Novice Chasing next year is going to suit him better will remain to be seen. But just mentioning Novice Chasing now, that's his long-term objective next year, and whatever he does, he's a pretty good horse. 149 is a high sort of mark, but if he was a horse that could have been placed in a world hurdle, then it's a pretty good mark to run in a Coral. My 10 or yours won off 149. Now he's exceptional, I know, and once now he's done it, it's easy to say it, but we could be in the same scenario. Wonderful Charm.
Best bet? I don't know, which would be my best bet? I don't know. I mean, it's difficult because the races are so hard to... I fancy Sam Winner quite strongly in the Pertemps final. He's got a chance, but all those handicaps are hard to win.
There's a couple, but Sapphire de Ray in the Fred Winter, I think. He'd be my main pick of the meeting, I think.
Sam Winner in the Pertemps. I really, really fancy him. He was a high-grade juvenile who was staying on late in the Triumph and didn't work out for him over fences, but then he didn't get exposed by doing anything for the last 18 months. So hopefully that time off, whilst it was a blow for us all that we couldn't kick on with his chasing career, hopefully it'll be able to pay dividends a different way.